Hi guys, let's take a look at this problem. Uh, so we are interested in a stock price. So this is the model for the price of this stock. Now this is a quadratic equation. So now this T, it represents the month uh, from 1999. So when T is 1, that's the January 1999. When T is 2, February 1999. When T is 12, December 1999. When T is 13, that means January of 2000, right? So that and so on and so forth. Okay, so now the question is find the 2 months in which the price of the stock was $30. So now this is the stock price. So price, this means price. It says was, so that means it's equal to, right? $30. So $30. So therefore, this is the equation that you're trying to find. You want to find the t. So again, if you find t is equal to 4, then that means April of 1999. If you find t to be say 24, that means 24 months later, that means December of 2000, right? So that's what it is. Okay, now the job is to solve this equation. So therefore, let's begin with this one. First of all, uh, to solve the quadratic equation, you want to rewrite that into ax squared plus bx plus c form. So you don't want the right hand side to be a constant. So therefore, I'm going to do this. 0.2t squared minus 5.6t plus 50.2 equals, minus 30 equals 0, right? So, and then this 50.2 minus 30, this gives you 20.2. Okay, so let's simplify that. Now, another thing that I dislike is the decimal here, the 0.2, 5.6, 20.2, but I do notice they're all single, just one decimal. So therefore, to get rid of the decimal, I'm gonna multiply both sides by 10. Okay, so when I do the 10, the right hand side is just 0. The left hand side is, so distributes 10 to each term, so you get 2t squared minus 5060 and then plus 202. Okay, so at this point in time, probably you recognize it's not easy to factor this equation. So you could use quadratic formula immediately. Sometimes for me, I it's really just personal preference. I feel that the smaller the number, the nicer. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2 because I do see every single number here is even number. So I want to divide it by 2. When you divide it by 2, you get t squared. So 2t squared divided by 2, which means t squared minus 28t because 56 divided by 2 is 28. There's a negative sign there. Plus 101, right? 202 divided by 2 is just 101. You have to divide 2 to each term when you do that. So equals 0. Now you can apply the quadratic formula now. So when you do that, 2 times a is 1 because this coefficient is 1. Negative b, so negative of negative 28, you get 28, plus or minus b squared, which is 28 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 101. Now I have no trick. You just have to use your graphing calculator, or I'm going to go to decimals. So this is the solution that I have, okay? Now I just need to get the numerical value. So I'm going to switch to decimals. And by the way, keep in mind, this is the function that we have. Okay, we want to solve this equation. So I'm going to switch to decimals. When I switch to decimals, I have to erase all these. So actually, I typed in my the answers, the answer that I just created. So 28 plus, it was plus or minus, right? So I do the plus first. Square root of 28 squared minus 404 divided by 2. So it turns out this t is going to be equal to 23.746. Now think about this. This means 23, that means 23 months from the January 1999. So that means 23 months. So if you take away 12 months, you're left with uh, 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 so if you take away 12 months, you're gonna left with 11 months, which means December, right? December. But 23 is December, but this is 23.7. That's more than December. I'm sorry. 11 means November. My bad. November. So 24.7 actually means the December. If you hit to 24, that means 24 full months are gone. You're going to the year 2001. Okay, so this 23.7 actually means December 2001. Okay, so is this correct? I would recommend you to first of all type in the equation of the this is the price, right? You don't want to type in t because Desmos doesn't recognize t as a variable. It recognizes x as variable. That's why I replace replace the t with x. So now let's take a look at the graph. You don't see the graph because it's up there. So I'm gonna zoom out using your mouse. That's the my function. So this is the price. So when it is $30, which means here, so that means, hey, you're gonna look for these two intersections. That should be a solution, okay? That should be a solution. How can you use technology to do that, to find that two intersection? If you remember a horizontal line, this is my horizontal line, right? So the horizontal line, the equation for horizontal line is y equals 30 in this case. So I'm gonna type that in. So y equals 30, and let's return. So now you see this point is the right side point, 23.747. That's exactly what we got from here, right? So therefore I got the first solution. The other solution is right here. By how do you get that? You just change this to minus sign and it should give you that, but I'll leave this for you to complete. So this is my my interpretation for this problem, and I actually solved part of that. I want you to solve the other one. So check two solutions for this problem.